So come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down. As you can see, I've pretty much wind down. There's not a whole lot left to wind down in my glass. I had a full glass here of my Venezia Select cocktail. And I proceeded to do the crosswords as normal, the New York Times, and then I did the Guardian, only to find out that my QuickTime screen recorder, which is how I capture the grid on a separate computer here, was not functioning properly. In fact, it was functioning rather poorly. There's really nothing there that's salvageable, and best as I can figure, I can't get QuickTime to record at all. So outside of going to another system altogether like OBS or something like that, I think I'll just reinstall everything, just doing a fresh, clean install there, or using another one of my Macintoshes around here to fire up and use in its stead tomorrow. As such, since I've already completed the grids, there would be no point in completing them again, since therefore they would not be spontaneous or real-time. And I put a lot of effort into that, so, which is why you see me hem and haw when I don't know things, and, you know, it never comes out picture perfect because I'm just a human trying to solve a puzzle. But I thought we could go through a couple of things here that I thought were really pretty cool. Just as a way to kind of cover down the reason. I mean, I know a lot of you like to solve with me, or you like to use this as a bellwether, maybe to get some pointers or some ideas. So nevertheless, I thought I would go through maybe some of the more notable terms in each of these crosswords today, while continuing to wind down on my Venezia Cocktail Select. So if you're looking at, when we look at the grid here today, if you look at 15 across, the answer is a bald eagle. And then you get to 24 across, and we're talking about a buzzkill. And then we have 35 across, which is a revealer of sorts, and it certainly revealed it for me. It's growing on me. And then we move into this fadeaway, and then we move down to the Afro-Cuban. And so you got the fadeaway, the Afro-Cuban. It's growing on me, along with a bald eagle and a buzzkill, and clearly all kind of rhyming around these things here. I can't select the images here. I can't actually light them up to show you what I'm talking about here. But a couple of what I thought were really interesting clue answer combinations, like 31 down over here on the left-hand side of the screen. A students, right? You know, and so kids in the 90s. And I thought that was pretty cool. Like kids in the 90s, right? You know, A students. Oh, okay. Got it, right? You know, there were a few others that were really pretty good. For example, up here at the very top in the northeast corner of the grid, going down, you have emoticons. And of course, we don't really use those anymore unless we're working in a system that only allows us to use ASCII text, right? So interesting how the emojis have taken over all of that. But on the whole, the New York Times, this was a fabulous grid, come to find out, and I suspected so, that the constructor is a first time making his debut in the New York Times. So that's always something to celebrate, as it should be. So again, this is an awkward video to shoot. Obviously don't really know what all I should be saying or what, but I just trying to bring something to the table after a relatively horrible experience doing both grids and getting my times and my little whatever, and it's just messed up. I know, by the way, the New York Times, by the way, when I got to the end of it, it's an issue somewhere in the grid. It was kind of crazy at first. It took a few seconds for it to actually accept and then push out, you know, the response, right? Which was, you know, da 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 da. But anyhow, pulling up our Guardian grid here today, a couple of things that I thought were really interesting. So it turns out that one across probity. So that's justice created, hold up in charity. And I thought that was interesting. It took me a while to get this, but I was able to come by a couple of the downs first off, right? So the pass by at 1 down is a qualify on times but keep going. And I guess this is a bit of a charade of like, you know, the pass, in other words, to qualify, and then the times. And it just kind of worked out because I was able to figure out also the 1 off, which is number 2 down, which is an individual not working. And so it's like, well, you know, you've got one, an individual, right, not working, could be off, and then all of a sudden it hit me because it's 3 and 3. This is a 1 off, right, you know? And so I thought that was really pretty clever. But with the probity piece going across the top, which I thought was really interesting how that worked out. If you look at probity and you think of justice created, hold up in charity, right, you know? And then you think of charity, I was thinking immediately of pity. And then, of course, a hold up could be to rob, right? You know, and it says justice created, hold up in charity. And I was able to kind of figure out from pass by and 1 off, we're probably talking about probity there on that one. The unheard of, over here at 10 down, and you can't see where I'm pointing my mouse, and I really hate that, but unheard of. This was an interesting clue answer combination because the clue was found her way out that's without precedence. And if you take way out, right, you know, found her a way out that's without precedence. If you take way out and found her a, you can actually anagram that right on into the answer, which I thought was just fabulous, right? So that was pretty incredible, just to me in so many ways. The other one that I would point out would be 12 across, nay, N-E-E, and it said, reportedly vote against revealing wife's former title. So I was thinking of nay, as in a nay vote versus an I vote, right? You know, but then it just hit me, 3 letters, wife's former title, nay, right? You know, so again, and the last one I wanted to talk about was the Bates Hotel here at 22 across. This grid only took me 16 minutes to get through, which is a long time. I get it. But remember, I'm new to this. But I loved Psycho's hospitality business, Seattle mob destroyed. I didn't get anywhere with the Seattle mob destroyed, etc. But as soon as I saw Psycho's hospitality business, I knew it was the Bates Motel. And I could even hear the soundtrack in there, right? You know, and so again, fantastic, a fun grid today. Was not easy by any stretch. I'm getting a little bit better as we go. But nevertheless, I really felt like I owed the community at least an answer on something. And again, this is a Mac Mini that I've been using over here. I've only had it for a few years, and I don't think it's going to need an overhaul. I think it probably just needs a complete redo. So I'll get this up and going no matter how late that keeps me up tonight. And we'll be good to go. I mean, I've got 2 Macintosh laptops next to me, and I've got another one over here, plus an iMac. I mean, I've got computers in here. This is sometimes what my wife refers to as the control room, right? You know, there's a reason for that. But nevertheless, we will try to get our act together and as soon as possible. In the meantime, I am just terribly, terribly sorry for the inconvenience, but I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again tomorrow. On the way out, I will share this funny image that I was sent today by a colonel that I had deployed with on my 5th and final deployment to Iraq. He was one of our medical providers, super guy, great doctor. And but anyway, Colonel D sent me this image, and I thought, wow, I'm either being caninized, or we're anthropomorphizing this dog to Christopher levels. But I'm loving the avant dog, and I thought this was something I definitely wanted to share. And so there, hence I'm sharing it. Until we see you tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin. Just be good, the guy behind you back in the line. Be well. Take care. Cheers.